Good evening, everyone. This is Esther from CSULB News. Today I have breaking footage for you that has just been found from Colonial America of a family. The family we have footage of are the Jeffersons. They lived in the time period of the 1760s in the Jamestown colony. That was in Virginia. This footage shows how life was during the colonial time period and what the different roles were of each family. Mommy, I'm so happy we own land. Why is that, Mary? Because, Mommy, I met a girl named Sally, and she told me how her family doesn't own land, and how they don't have a lot of chickens, cows, and pigs like we do. Well, honey, it's because we are fortunate to have had money to come and live here. Your father had enough money, so he paid for me, you, and all of the children to come here from Europe and live a better life. Mommy, what's an indentured servant? Why do you ask? Because that's what Sylvia does. Remember, Mommy? She lives with us. Yes, honey. That's because we paid for her to come here with us from Europe, and now she's working to pay us back because she didn't have enough money to come here by herself. Okay, Mommy. I'm going back to working on the farm. Before you go, remember, my child, you have to marry someone like your father so that you have a farm and a good life with economic freedom. Do you want to be an indentured servant? If not, then I suggest that you think about marrying someone with wealth. Okay, Mommy, can you also sew me new clothes? Yes, I will, my child. Now go and get the eggs from the chickens. Christopher, I told the children to go and get eggs from the chickens, but they said they couldn't because they had to read the Bible like you told them to. They only listen to you around here and not me when I tell them to do anything. This is not fair.
Well, honey, what do you expect? There's God, and then there's me. I say what goes around here. Even though we all work on the farm together, I'm the owner of this land. I say what goes around here. I pay my taxes. I'm entitled to vote. I'm the head of the household. Now get the kids ready for church.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the rare footage that we have just shown you of the Colonial Family. The Colonial Family that I showed you a video of was a middle-class family. They farmed small land holdings, ran small stores and businesses, or worked at ordinary skilled crafts such as shoemaking or woodworking. Women of the middle-class families made their own cloth, candles, cheese, soap, and other goods. Excess supplies were sold to augment the family income. Men could vote and few held public office. Another aspect of colonial families was their value of community. There was always a community leader for each colony and each individual community. That community leader was allowed to make different rules that every family had to follow. For example, it wasn't only the parents who were in charge of the children and reprimanding them, the community leaders were also responsible. That was just a little glimpse of the Colonial America family, and now we're going to take you back to show you another rare scene of this family in a church setting.
Hello everyone, my name is Gladys and I'm here to talk about the Colonial Americans. In the Colonial Americas, religion, customs, and law were almost identical. Uniformity with the community and saving souls was the goal of the Colonial Americans. If someone in the community was caught straying off from the community's religious customs, they would be threatened with civil order and then punished for their nonconformity. For many of us today, we tend to say, "Oh, I'll go to church next weekend. I'm too tired. I'm going to sleep in on Sunday." But this was not so for the Colonial Americans. Everyone had to go to church, no matter how tired you were. The Colonial Americans practiced the Sabbath, which was an intense religious activity that lasted all day. Here is footage of what it may have sounded like at one of these services. "He will repay for their wickedness. The Lord our God will destroy them." So, if you do not want to be destroyed by the Lord our God, I suggest you do not do these things. Do not misuse the words of God. Don't complain. And don't be friendly with the people who break the rules. The Lord preserves all who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. Wow, guys, I'm not surprised that the people in this community stuck with these religious customs. If you did something wrong, not only would you be punished by your community, but you would also be destroyed by God. People in this community had to follow rules to avoid being punished. And if something did go wrong, or if they did something bad, they would blame it on the devil. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Virginia, and I'm going to take you through a journey of colonial fashion. All right, let us start off with our colonial man. First off, he is sporting some leather shoes with some wool socks to keep those feet warm. He has on a pair of short breeches, which are pants, that are fastened at the knee. There is no doubt a linen shirt under this coat and cape. The cape is very stylish, and it keeps him safe from rain. He is also sporting a hat with a wide rim. Okay, let's talk about colonial women fashion. To start off, she is wearing leather shoes with woolen socks, a long skirt accompanied with a loose-fitting long sleeve shirt, and let us not forget the white apron she's rocking. And she's also got a cape as well to protect her from rain.
Now let's take you and see how our colonial family felt about living in the Jamestown colony. Honey, doesn't it feel amazing to live here? Of course it does, honey. It's so amazing to think that now we can practice whatever religion that we like. Before, we had to do what the English did, and now we can follow our own religious views. It's worth paying higher taxes. I like living in colonial America. Me too. This just in. We have just received breaking footage of the Stamp Act reaching our colonial family. Everyone, please listen. The British Parliament has just passed this new thing called the Stamp Act. We are now required to pay a tax on every piece of printed paper we use. This means we have to pay taxes on ship prints, legal documents, licenses, newspapers, other publication, and even playing cards. This is not right. We are no longer English. We should not have to be ordered around by them, especially since the money is not going to help us, but them.
Life is already hard enough as it is. I work on the farm to ensure that my family is well taken care of. I set the rules in the home to ensure that we have a godly household. I attend every church service. Now I must pay the English for every print of paper I use. I left England to pursue a better life. Yet they still come after me as they did when they discriminated my religion.
The English have gone too far. I can see how upset my husband is over the Stamp Act, but I cannot do anything. I have no voice. I cannot tell my husband to stop grumbling and go fight against it. It will be up to my husband and what he will do next. Whatever his choice will be, I will support him. I heard that father must pay taxes on every single piece of paper that we may need. What would that mean for any books? I enjoy so much reading the Bible when I am not working on the farm. Will father no longer be able to purchase Bibles for the family? What will happen to our souls if we cannot read the Bible and the words of the Lord?
Another taxation? Just my luck. I don't have the money to pay for another tax imposed by the English. I didn't even have enough money to come to the colonies, which is why I'm an indentured servant. Is this tax going to prevent me from paying my debt to the man and the lady of the house? How much more are the colonial men going to take from the English before they fight back? In my eyes, they are the indentured servants of the English, paying a debt they may never pay off.
Looks like our colonial family was in quite a pickle. Although they were in America now, the colonists were not seen to have the same rights as English. It looked like it was about time to start a revolution. Who knows? Maybe they won't have to pay taxes anymore. Well, that is it for me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this rare footage that we have found of colonial America and this amazing family called the Jeffersons. Until next time, America, have a great night.